when it comes to working one-on-one with a client online and helping them transform their life, training and nutrition is a very small part of that process. Online coaches, let's be honest here for a second. If a transformation program was only about training and nutrition, why wouldn't your prospects just go to Google and type in how to lose weight and then download a PDF off the internet and get a meal plan off of like eat this much or, figure out their macros or do it on MyFitnessPal? Like, that's not why people are hiring you. They're not hiring you because, all of your expertise on training and nutrition. They're hiring a coach to help them get to their goals. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to getting to your goals, I personally think that's about so much more than a training and nutrition, because it's not just as easy as following the template. Anybody that you work with that comes into your coaching program, the reason that they're struggling is because they've got something that's been holding them back, right? Maybe that something is like they've got limiting beliefs about what's possible. Maybe that something is they've got terrible eating habits. Maybe that something is that like they're working out, but they're just doing the wrong things, or they lose motivation and they fall off track, or they're an emotional eater. You understand what I'm saying to you? When they're hiring you, they come with this set of habits, and now it's your job not only to provide the training and nutrition program, but also to help them with their transformation. It's all about their transformation. So what makes a good coach? What makes a good online fitness coach? I've written down 4 things that I believe make a really good online fitness coach. So if you're tuning into this podcast, I want you guys to write this down, and I want you to ask yourself if you're creating this with your clients. All right. So number 1, the first thing that I believe makes a good online coach is personal connection. Personal connection to me is literally number 1. People are paying you money online so that you can help them with their transformation. And online coaching can be very impersonal as well. Like, I've personally worked with online coaches back when when I was 21, 22, where I paid them for an online coaching program. And the only communication that I got with them was an email once a week where I was supposed to send a check-in. And if I didn't send a check-in, I wouldn't talk to them. And so I didn't feel like that was a good, even though I knew how to work out, I still wanted to talk to the person that I was hiring, because obviously I respected the person that I was hiring. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been paying them money. And so part of, for me at least, having an online coach is one of the biggest reasons that I started creating personal connections with my clients. Is I always felt like it was not fair that I only got to talk to my coach once a week via email. And so I think one of the biggest things that makes a great online fitness coach is the ability to create personal connections to your clients. Now, personal connections to your clients to me means that you are doing more than just a check-in once a week, right? There's got to be another layer of value that you're providing. One of the biggest things that I actually recommend that all my online coaches do is, first of all, number 1 is if you're not set up on Trainerize, if you don't have Trainerize, then you need it. It's basically how you're running your online coaching program. So one of the things that I recommend that my online coaches do is logging into Trainerize once a day, just to check in with who's hit their workouts and who's missed their workouts. Like, how cool is it that, you could notice somebody on their fitness journey and you could send your client a message being like, hey, Sarah, I saw you hit the gym today. And I just want to say I'm super proud of you. You've been so consistent over the last 2 weeks. Like, if I'm on a fat loss journey and I got a message from the person that I was paying, a mentor, and they told me that they were seeing my progress and they were seeing how hard I was working, that would feel so good. Like, that would motivate me to continue working, right? I'd be like, oh, damn, he sees me. You know what I mean? That's so cool. He sees me. That would motivate me to continue working. So creating a personal connection to your clients and letting them know that you see them is super, super, super important. I think that's literally number 1. That's why I wrote it down at the top of the list. Personal connection. How much do you care about your clients? Really ask yourself that. And personal connection means that I also think personal connection is the willingness to go above and beyond. The willingness to go above and beyond. For me, I never viewed, so a lot of people, when they're thinking about how much work they're going to do for their online clients, they're usually putting it in a container where they're like, okay, so it's 4 check-ins, 4 meal plans, and I'll check in with a Trainerize, and that's the container that I put myself in, right? That's what my coaching program is. But if your client reaches out to you and they have an issue and they want to talk to you and they just want to talk to somebody about it, and you take 10 to 15 minutes out of your day to listen to them and hear them out, like how good do you think that's going to make that person feel? So the willingness to go above and beyond, I think for me is one of the biggest things that creates a personal connection. All right. So number one, the first thing that I think makes a very good coach is a personal connection. You guys with me so far? Personal connection. Cool. All right. Number two, the second thing that I think makes an extremely good coach, and this is one that you guys might not have considered for the list, but the second thing that makes a very good coach is 100% integrity. 100% integrity. What does that mean? 100% integrity means that your meal plan to your client is never, ever late. 100% integrity means if you say you send your check-in out every single week at 6 p.m., at 6 p.m. every single week, your check-in is sent out no matter what. 100% integrity means that if you're hosting a Q&A for your clients that starts at 5 p.m., you're there 10 minutes before the Q&A, prepared, ready to go, and just like excited for the live stream so that at 5 p.m. you can turn that thing on and you can go hard. That's 100% integrity. Why do you guys think that's so important as an online coach? Because people are paying you for a service, right? They're literally giving you their money and they're like, I'm agreeing to this service online and like, that's what I want. And so you need to treat your business with respect. Like for me, like if I ever, like I go to the gym every morning at like 5 in the morning. And so the gym opens at 5. So if I got there at 5 o'clock ready to work out because that was the time that the gym told me they were open, and then the front desk person didn't show up till 5:15, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, dude, like I just planned my whole day around this. You know what I mean? And so for your coaching calls for your clients, never, ever, ever be late, ever, never. When you say you're going to get that meal plan out on Friday, never, ever, ever get it out on Saturday. And if you do, let them know 1 or 2 days in advance. Like you need to have 100% integrity to your clients. And obviously, like nobody's perfect, right? I'm sure that, life is going to come up sometimes and you're going to have to be a little bit late for something. And I've been, late once or twice, but for those of you guys that tune into the podcast, what time is the podcast at? What time is the podcast at? Same time every day. Am I ever late? The only time I'm late actually is Friday, but Friday's a little bit of a different schedule because now I got the mastermind. But Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday, when I go live for the podcast, am I ever late? Ever. Always 100% on time. 10 a.m. PST. I'm here. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And you guys know it. That's why you tune in. 100% integrity. Inside of my coaching program, I literally am never late for a coaching call, ever. I hate it. And if I am late, I show up and I'm like, yo, like I'm a human. I'm so sorry. But like I'm here and I'm excited. 100% integrity. And nobody's perfect, right? Sometimes life happens, but do your absolute best to never be late on a check-in, never be late on a workout program, because your clients are counting on you. Your clients trust you and they're paying you for a service. Treat your business with respect. All right. Number 3, the third thing that makes a very good coach is a raving community. The third thing that makes a very good coach is a raving community. Now, a raving community, most people understand this concept of like putting your clients in a Facebook group, right? I think everybody, if you're in the 10K Coaching Academy, you know that I believe in Facebook groups are a super good way to, keep your community engaged. But just because you have clients in a Facebook group doesn't make a raving community. A raving community is a bunch of people that are in a Facebook group that are excited to be talking to each other every single day. That's a raving community. A raving community is a place where if a client feels like they're struggling, they know that they can post in the community and they know that they're going to get supported because that's the energy of the community. A raving community. A raving community is also an environment where, if a client has a big win and sometimes they feel weird sharing that with people in their personal life, like talking about how much weight they're losing, they know that they can come to the community and they're going to feel supported. And it's a place where they can talk about their goals. That's a raving community. Now, in order to create a space like that, online fitness coach, you need to be 100% real, open, and vulnerable. You need to lead by example. You need to be the person that's in the community excited. You also need to be open with your clients when you struggle, because then they'll see that you're a human and they'll be more likely to be open when they're struggling, and they'll also be excited about their goals. It starts with you. Just because you have a Facebook group doesn't make a raving community. A raving community is the third thing that makes a great online fitness coach. So if you don't have a raving community, that's something that you need to work on. Okay, so we got number 1, personal connection. Number 2, 100% integrity, doing your very best. Number 3, a raving community. Number 4, the fourth thing that makes a very good coach is somebody that has your back. The fourth thing that makes a very good coach is somebody that has your back. Now, I wrote down has your back because I was thinking about words to describe what I actually wanted to communicate, and the only words I could think about was cheerleader, but I don't like the word cheerleader because it doesn't actually say what I want to say with this. Has your back means this. When your clients are winning, you're there and you're like, yo, like, I'm so pumped for you. I'm so proud of you. You're crushing it. That's amazing. And has your back also means that when your clients are struggling and they're not hitting the workouts and they're not checking in, you're that person that's like, yo, Sarah, like, you paid me $300 a month to transform your body and you're not taking your fitness goals seriously. We need to sit down and have a conversation so that I can help you get back on track. Cheerleader doesn't say that. So has your back does say that. It means that, like, you've got their best interests at heart. So when your client is like crushing it, you're there and supporting them, but you've got their best interests at heart also means that when they're falling off track, you're the person that's helping them get back on track. Does that make sense? Fourth thing that makes a very good coach is somebody that has your back. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the list. Now, don't get me wrong, training and nutrition are a big part of the entire transformation process, but I personally think that being a good coach will outshine the other two 100%. Being a good coach and genuinely making sure that your clients are getting amazing results are, I think, more important than the training and nutrition aspect for online coaching. Training and nutrition is important. You can't have an online coaching program without baseline knowledge in training and nutrition, period. But when it comes to the clients actually getting incredible results and going through the transformation, I think the coaching aspect of it is more important than that. And that's why you need to charge what you're worth, because all of these things take your time and they take your energy. And they also guarantee that your clients get results. So if you're just thinking in terms of training and nutrition, then you won't be able to put the time and energy into this because you'll likely have to have another job just to pay for your online coaching, just to be an online coach and also pay your bills. So you need to charge a price that's fair, where you can hold your clients accountable to their goals and you can also do it full time and you're fully committed to that process. Make sense? Cool. So personal connection, 100% integrity, a raving community, and has your back. What was your favorite? I'm curious. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value out of today's episode, one thing that I'd like is if you go to the podcast app, if you scroll all the way to the bottom of the podcast app, so Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast, scroll below episode 1, you can leave a star review and you can leave a written review. And then I'll give you a shout out on the podcast for anybody that leaves a review. So peace and love. I'll talk to you guys soon. Let's go.